G'day yoga lovers. So I'm going to tell you my famous Speedo yoga story. It's bloody embarrassing. But I'm going to tell it to you anyway. I wrote this in an article for a Canadian yoga website called Rebel Society. It's probably the most humiliating experience of my life, but they're definitely the funniest. So I was in San Francisco and I was at Yoga Tree in the Castro. It's a gay area, so I don't know how I ended up there. And I was in the reception asking about yoga, as a lot of people do, and what do you know? Oh, hang on, I've lost you. This very famous yoga teacher that I'd been following online, this is before Instagram, turned up at reception. He was a teacher there. And I went, oh my God, you're that blah, blah, blah teacher. And he said, well, as a matter of fact, I am. He was very flirty, he was a gay guy. And I probably said something really embarrassing, like I bought a watermelon, like on Dirty Dancing. And it was all really embarrassing. And he said, well, why don't you come to this evening's yoga class as my guest? And I said, really? Oh my God, I don't get really starstruck, really, but for some reason I managed to humiliate myself. So I agreed to go to the yoga class. And I said, well, what do I wear? And he said, oh, well, the guys here, they just wear a Speedo. And I was like, oh, okay. And Bikram wasn't even on my radar. It wasn't even a Bikram class. And I thought, okay, well, that's strange. So I rock up late, as usual. I rip off all my clothes. The girls at reception looking at me really, really weirdly. And I'm like, I get down to a red Speedo. Thank God I was bitch then, because, well, women used to look at me and go, bitch. So I was bitch then. And I said to the girls, wearing a red Speedo and my yoga towel around my neck, where do I go? I'm in so-and-so's class. And they said, Studio 7, and they were looking at me really weird. So I burst open in the door, I burst the doors open, walk in, the teacher's at the front of the class and goes, oh, hi Michael, I've set you up at the front here. And I could sense there was dozens and dozens of people behind me. So I threw out my yoga towel. Remember, all I'm wearing is a red Speedo. I was doing as instructed, and just out of politeness, I decided to sort of turn around and wave to everyone apologetically, like, hi, sorry I'm late. And to my horror, when I turned around, was that everyone was fully dressed. Everyone had yoga gear on, and I'm standing like a numbnuts in a red Speedo. And I looked at him, and he didn't say anything. But what I realized afterwards was that when he meant a Speedo, he meant like a quick dry short and maybe like a tank top like everyone else. And I didn't know that. So to justify the fact that I was practically naked, I pulled out yoga moves I'd never done in my life. I think for a week I lost feeling in my legs. And I must have did something right, because these girls came up afterwards with their yoga towels, fully dressed, wrapped around their neck, and they said, wow, you must be really serious about yoga. You really busted some moves there. And I'm like, I can't fucking feel my legs. Like, yeah, I did. And nothing was said. And he was really gracious about it. So yeah. So what are you gonna do? Anyway, that's my Speedo story. I hope you liked it. See you next video.